Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The opposition leader said in his speech that Montreal had voted in favor of decriminalization of drugs. But how is it that in the motion it talks about legalization instead? There's quite a difference between legalization, decriminalization, and diversion. The Honourable Leader of the Opposition. There's no real difference, Mr. Speaker. It's just playing semantics, which extremists use to defend their record. Every time they introduce a measure that fails, they change the semantic, they change the word. So they talked about safe supply, but now they've changed that for regulated supply. So the nomenclature changes from legalization to decriminalization to try to create distinctions that don't exist in the real world. Reality is reality. In BC, people were allowed to use meth, crack, heroin, and other hard drugs in hospitals, on public transit, in parks with children. It was 100% legal. You can call it what you like, but that is what legalization means, and the Bloc supports it because the Bloc is part of the left, and they embrace all the radically ideological policies of this liberal New Democratic coalition.
The Honourable Député de Saint-Hyacinthe.
The Honourable Member for Saint-Hyacinthe. Thank you, Madam Speaker. This morning I asked the Leader of the official opposition if he could explain the difference between legalization and decriminalization and diversion. His answer was, and I quote, "There's no difference, it's just a play on words. It's semantics." And I know my colleague had a brilliant legal career. She's a lawyer by training. And she was even secretary to the Justice Minister. Can she look in the camera and tell all her colleagues from the bar that she shares the opinion of her leader, that it's just a legal concept about one and the same thing and there's no distinction? Or is that not the case? Is there a difference? What is the difference? That might be useful to hear. The Honourable Member.
I thank my colleague for the question and for the unexpected praise of my former legal career, which I've left far behind at this point. But I have no trouble whatsoever, Madam Speaker, standing behind our leader and our position. And our position, and part of it is clearly put out in this motion, is that the extremist view on these things is what the NDP Liberal government has put forward. We are the mainstream. We are putting forward common sense, compassionate positions on the issue of drugs and overdose deaths that have overtaken too many communities and hurt too many families. And I'm very clear about where we stand on that. Thank you.